Every Good Friday. We do. We do. That's Sean. You're back. You're back. Thank you very much, Sean. Joanne's with me. Joanne Callan from Try Alternative.
Yes, Try the Alternative.
Try the Alternative, and that's your lovely business of well-being. And you are, of course, our hostess in the Lifestyle Newry program here on Destination Newry.
Yes.
What kind of week has it been for you?
It's been a good week, yes. All good. I suppose we're starting to hear people talking in about the darker evenings and things like that. So I suppose and obviously this month being around suicide awareness and mental health awareness as well.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of talk over the last few days, but I think people, certainly this week I've been seeing quite a lot of people saying, you know, prevention's better than cure, and I'm going to be proactive on this winter, and I'm going to, what type of things can I be doing to keep my mood up as the days get darker, because I think the change in seasons often brings a change in people. So.
Do you not pour scorn on people who are so sad that they need to come to you and say, what can I do?
No, and I think...
Do they not know?
Yeah, not everybody does,
really?
Unfortunately, yeah, and that's the point.
Buried in their own lives and the complexities of things.
Yeah, and into things, and there could be hormone imbalances, or there could be, you know, there's a number of different things, so I think it's important to be open, and if somebody's reaching out, to allow them that time and that space, and but genuinely, some people just don't necessarily always know what exactly can be done.
It's a wise observation, because I get into trouble at times because inside me, I know I'm the weakest human being on the planet, but but I know how to do things, and I always assume that if this weakest human being on the planet knows how to do everything, then everybody else should know.
Yeah, and that's, I think, no, not everybody does. Even just yesterday, following on from our Destination Wellbeing last week, which was on organic skincare and stuff like that, I met a girl down the street, and she says, you know, I just didn't know. You know, she says, I never ever thought about it, and she says, now I've started to look at labels, started to look at what's in things, and she says, I'm amazed by it. And people just, you know, we go on, we're busy, we accept a lot of the word of marketeers, and sometimes we don't just have the time to actually step and look outside the box.
When I go to buy meat now, you're talking packaging.
Yes.
I don't like packaging because there's bags and bags and bags of packaging. But I mean, often it's grand, it goes back into recycling, and that's good. But when that happens, it's wonderful. My friends over in Shabra in Monaghan, over in Castleblaney, they recycle magnificently there. But the thing is, I would now go with my plastic container into the butcher. I say, I would like, it's the Wednesday of the week, I'm celebrating that I've reached the halfway mark in the week. I want the finest sirloin steak, 30 days hanging, I want it, and I want to have it my dinner tonight. And I want to make sure it's good. I want it nicely marbled, because I don't want, when I bite into it at dinner time tonight, to be cursing you from the heavens or coming looking for you at that time. I want it to be perfect. And he'll say yes, and then he goes to put it in a plastic bag, and then the plastic bag will go into another bag, and then it'll go into the bag with his butchery name on it. I say, no, this is my box, and I present him with my plastic container. He puts it in the plastic container, and I close the plastic container and take it home with me.
Yes. Well, there's a lovely, I don't know if you've come across the Irish Kobe beef.
No, what's that?
It's a Japanese beef. And
buy local.
Well, there's a farmer in South Armagh.
There's a farmer in South Armagh called Ichitawa. Ichitawa Tata.
Japanese product, highly marbled beef, very tender and very high-end beef, but all produced. And
where did you get the like of that?
At the moment, it's online, and they're also in St George's Market on the Saturday for the market. But all born and reared in South Armagh. And
but you know, that's a lovely idea. Japanese cattle. And so I must get this man to come in and tell us all about it. Yes, I must get in touch with him. You do. Make sure we know this thing. We want to get this. But I think beef, you see, should one be a vegetarian or not, I often wonder. As I come up in the morning time and I see the lorry loads of cattle waiting to be admitted to the abattoir, and I hear the
the conscience can
and you know, I can hear it.
Yes.
Rowan. And I know what's going to happen. They're going to get the bullet, baby.
Yeah,
they're gone.
I suppose it's always the question, and again it comes back to people's own personal choice. I think balance, but what would concern me as much is the the over productivity within the food supply, the forcing of it.
Oh,
and, I think
the angel dust syndrome.
Yes,
I don't think it exists that much anymore.
Not so. But
when I consider these things, let me see your teeth, please. Yeah, you see these teeth here?
Yes.
You eat?
Yeah.
God didn't give you these for eating lettuce.
No, that's true.
He gave us these teeth for ripping meat apart.
And enzymes in stomachs and stuff. We have enzymes there that are designed to break down beef. And as I say, the jury's out on it, and there are people who will say that it's. But I think
from the beginning of time, we've been eating meat.
I think it's balance, and I think it's a change in the type of meat, the type of production that our food is going through, right from farm through to plate. And I think I'm more consciously aware, and I suppose
just to be aware of it.
Just aware of it, and processed meat and things like that aren't the direct. We weren't given these to eat.
No,
processed meat either. We were given them to eat proper meat, and I think it's the time of day that it's eaten at and stuff as well can have a big part. And
I remember once, human flesh is okay. Let me explain to you. This sounds. When you hear the story, you'll understand. In the Arctic, in the far north, three of us, a companion, perished, and we were starving. We had no food whatsoever, and. It's diabolical to eat another human being, and it's emetic. Oh, you want to be ill. But if you ever find yourself in that situation, allow the cadaver to freeze, and once it's frozen solid, then take the smallest of slivers off the buttock, just slivers, and chop it up into little. You don't bite it, but you roll it, and you have it there, tiny piece. And you swallow it completely. You're not masticating. You're swallowing it. You're getting it into you, and then it'll thaw, and then it will release the good into your body. So if you have to eat a person, get the person frozen first, and don't chew the person. Do not chew. You do not chew. You swallow it down, and that'll keep you alive. Yes, we survived for 2 weeks like that, and then we were rescued, and it was okay. Yeah. And Sean Burns will laugh. He doesn't believe a word of this.
Believe a word of
He's
what
terrible.
We're saying. Yes.
More seriously, and we are always serious, men's health, the blue month of September.
Yes.
You're in sympathy with it this morning.
Awareness. Yes,
blue
I'm
and silver.
Blue September, yes.
What's the thing on your front there, that silvery thing?
I have an owl.
Wow, he's lovely.
Isn't he very cute?
Yeah, and he moves in the bottom part of him. Look, he's gorgeous.
Yes, he's very cute.
He's a gorgeous,
yes, Blue September, really set up to raise awareness around men's health, and I think you men are, you're reluctant to.
I'm not.
Often you
and I'm alive today because I'm not a stupid man.
Silly, yes, so
18 months ago, I detected the beginnings of prostate cancer. Yes. But had I not been proactive, I wouldn't have known about it.
And that's the big thing, and that's the awareness. It's around prostate cancer, bowel cancer, a lot of the conditions that are much more obviously exclusively to or more common in men. But just raising awareness and just looking out, have any things that are concerning you, any changes, and that's really the body's way of talking to us is through change.
It is.
But often we ignore these changes and don't. So it might be a good time for men just to schedule a bit of an MOT and just get things, even like blood pressure, bloods checked. Anything that can just have a look and just see what is going on. Well and good if all the results come back.
Absolutely.
Fine, that's
and if
good,
it's not the end of the world if the prostate cancer thing can be dealt with, and the answer there is in the PSA blood test.
Yes.
And would you believe it? There's a lot of doctors around, one or two of them in Newry, some out in the country, who dissuade people from having the PSA test done. They say, it's not really necessary, it's a false indicator, it's an imperfect indicator. Of course it is, but it's an indicator, and then it gives you a pointer.
It may be something, you have a point of reference then.
Yeah, you do, of course. Yeah.
And an option, and I mean, they do say that over 50, there's such a high percentage of men that have prostate cancer.
Well, my consultant in Belfast gave me the statistic. He said, Rowan, men of your age, and my age was then 68, he said 80% of men of 68 and over have prostate cancer.
Well, I think, and I think we can look at that. I mean, there's the statistics are there as well to say that most of us have cancer cells to some degree in many different cells. It's it's the environment
Yeah.
that we then choose to give them. And there's lots of stuff. I think my big thing is always prevention's better than cure. So
Lifestyle.
if we're doing lifestyle and
It's
well-being,
important. Yeah, and well-being.
looking
Yeah.
after yourself, eating, it's simple stuff. It's stuff we know, but looking at your food, looking at exercise, taking time out.
How are you enjoying your program?
Loving it.
It's
Great.
nice. You
Yeah,
do it well.
It's going very good. Yeah,
Yeah, you do it
going
well.
good. And getting good feedback. It's surprising people who are certainly our first show seems to have been one of the ones that made quite a big impact.
Yeah.
Around emotional issues behind physical illness and how people can get in touch with that and heal from the inside out type thing. And then our next one was on the Family Hope Centre. And
what was the Family Hope Centre? I missed that one.
Yeah, it's a centre that work a lot with children with neurological conditions, ADD, the
hyperactivity job.
Hyperactivity, but looking at it more from a neurological perspective and autism, there can be, hyperactivity can be one symptom on the autism spectrum, but it can range right from everything through to slow speech development, learning difficulties. There's a whole range of neurological issues that get classed under the autism spectrum.
Yeah.
And our guest that we had in was a lady, well, we two, we'd actually a physio who's originally from Crossmaglen and a girl who's had her son following some of the steps of the Family Hope Centre programme. And Michelle has just done a full weekend course, so we're hoping to have Michelle back in a few weeks to see the progress that Ronan's making.
You should. Not that I'm pressing myself on your show, but I would love the opportunity. I love the opportunity to talk to as many people as possible on prostate cancer.
Yes.
And a man met me on Hill Street a month ago, and he said, "Rowan, you told me last year to go and have my blood tests done. I hadn't thought of doing that. When you told me I did, I've got prostate cancer, but I've got it in time." So that's the story.
Well, we'll take you in as a guest at one evening.
I'd love that.
I'd love to do that because
the more I can tell people,
yes, definitely.
The more I can tell people, the better I feel about it. Because this little bastard of a prostate grows away quietly, halfway between your belly button and your bum, and it's there.
Yes.
And you don't know it's there. It's like me knowing Mars. I have more knowledge of Mars than I do of my prostate, for God's sake.
And that's back even to the point that we're making at the beginning is that sometimes we just don't know, and we take, whether it's mental health or how we can help our well-being and stuff. It is awareness. We know more about the outside world than we do what's going on within ourselves on either a physical, emotional, or a spiritual level.
Yeah. When's your next show?
Goes out this afternoon at
what time?
3 p.m.
You guys make sure you get it. 3 p.m. this afternoon
3 p.m.
on destinationnuri.com. And if you actually put in the code SMILTV672940, you actually get the beautiful, delectable smell of this woman as well. It comes out of your television set.
Yeah.
So you're still on the essential oils.
We're still on essential oils, yes. And already this morning I had a shower with some eucalyptus this morning. So
wow!
I cleared the sinuses and got that sorted.
I have to say to you, the vision of you having a shower with eucalyptus is too much for me at this time in the morning. I promise you. But it's not an unpleasant vision, I tell you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to play you some music now.
Thank
Sean,
you.
what are we going to do? Thank you. Yeah, whatever, yeah.